What's going on, guys? Just got done watching the Misfits '07 card, and I really wanted to come on here and just talk about the fights, talk about what transpired. But unfortunately, I'm sick to my stomach, to be honest with you. Like, in all honesty, that was a pathetic shit show of an event. A couple things I gotta address right off the bat because I can't even really get into the fun that we're supposed to have talking about these fights because it was just absolutely pathetic. So I guess we'll take it from the start of my issues with this event and then we'll go to the end. This guy, Big Zoo, I think his name is. No idea who he is. I know he's been on previous events and I've thought the same thing in the past, but tonight it was just so over the top. Like, dude, I hate, hosts, commentators, whatever you want to call them, just making the entire show about them. Like, he's in the back doing interviews with the fighters, and he's talking, asks a question, shows the fucking mic to the fighter, and then before the fighter even finishes his response, he takes the mic back and starts talking. He's talking so much, he's not even listening to the fighters. Like, blah, 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 blah. But anyway, blah, blah, blah. Like, bro, can you let them fucking talk? The show is not about you. Nobody gives a fuck what you have to say, you fat fuck. Why don't you just show the mic to the fighters, ask them questions, and allow them to respond? Give them the platform. It's about them. It's not about you cracking your stupid jokes that aren't funny at all. It's not about you just talking over fighters. He asked Joe Fournier something in the locker room, and Fournier didn't even really get to answer the question before he starts asking him another one. Like, who hired this dude? But clearly, whoever runs these events, whoever puts these events together, whether it be KSI, Mams, Taylor, etc., does not have a clue what they are doing, does not respect the fighters, does not care, just hires anybody. Sloppy event. The next thing, the main thing that is pathetic, absolutely pathetic about this event, you got Deji versus Swarms. The fight ends. They interview Deji. Deji walks off. They're interviewing Swarms. The guy just trained his ass off. Look at his body. Look at the way his body transformed. Trained his ass off to go in there and fight a guy with way more experience than him. Comes up short. He's clearly gutted. He's clearly, not in the mood. And they literally interrupt the guy who lost. They interrupt him with Pineda. Just out of nowhere, music goes on, and Swarms, who just fought 5 minutes prior, gets interrupted, cut off, and walks off stage, doesn't even get to say his piece. Let me make this very clear to everybody who's an influencer boxing fan who does not watch traditional combat sports. Combat sports are not like other sports. You have to be extremely respectful to the guys that are putting their lives on the line. 10 to 15 boxers a year die. It's not a joke. It's not a game. It's not about your stupid antics. It's about the guys who put their lives on the line for your entertainment. It doesn't matter at what level. If you step in the ring and you're literally getting punched in the brain, and they interrupt this guy for some idiot to call him out after he just lost the fight 5 minutes prior. And he didn't call out Pineda. He didn't even get a chance to speak. That is so extremely unprofessional and just absolutely out of line. Just completely out of line. It'd be different if Pineda was on the sideline of the ring and they were interviewing Swarms and Pineda took it upon himself to interrupt Swarms. Then it's like, okay, Pineda, whatever. But no, the promotion, the people that are running the event, decided it would be a good idea to disrespect the living fuck out of a guy who just got punched in the brain for 12 minutes. A guy who just came up short on something he's worked towards for weeks and weeks and weeks. That is unbelievable. As a fan of combat sports first, without combat sports, I wouldn't even know who these people are. I got into this scene through the love of combat sports, and I've been a part of this scene since the beginning. I've been following it. But what is that? That is completely out of line, completely disrespectful, outright disgusting. Let the guy talk. If you want to set him up with Pineda, do it later. If you want Pineda to interrupt somebody, have him interrupt the winner, who's on cloud 9, who's happy, who probably needs something to do next. Pathetic. Shows an absolute lack of respect that they have for their fighters. And if I was a fighter, I would never fight for Misfits Boxing again. Pathetic. On to the next thing. KSI versus Joe Fournier. I was souped up watching this fight because I'm like, KSI looks amazing. KSI looks explosive. He's learned not to chase his opponents as much. He's cutting the ring off. He's being dynamic with his footwork, dynamic with his stances, dynamic with his angles. His variety of punches is a lot better. I just wanted to come on here and tell you guys how much I think that KSI is actually officially a better boxer than Jake Paul. But I can't, because he knocked out Joe Fournier blatantly. It's on camera. He knocked him out with an elbow. Accidentally, but he knocked him out with an elbow. He rocked him with a punch that definitely didn't put Joe Fournier out. And then he followed it up with an elbow that knocked Joe Fournier unconscious, eyes rolling behind his head. And they go to say, after we see it, I'm thinking, okay, so that's either a disqualification, which it should be, or a no contest, which at least it could be. No way they're going to have KSI win by knockout. He clearly knocked him out with an elbow. So it can't be a knockout victory, right? It can't be a victory at all, unless it's a victory for Joe Fournier by disqualification. That would be the only way, right? Wrong. This unprofessional piece of shit organization just, they see it and they go, oh, well, if the ref would have saw it, maybe it could have. What do you mean if the ref would have saw it? This decision hasn't been announced yet. There's no replay tape. You can't clearly see he knocked him out with an elbow. If it were any professional organization, they would say, whoa, okay, that's a no contest. At the very least, it's a no contest. Should be a disqualification. But no, they give it to KSI. They hardly, if at all, bring up that fact. They hardly breezed over it that KSI caught him with an elbow during KSI's post-fight interview. Didn't even barely bring it up. So slightly brought it up. KSI refuted it. And they didn't show the knockout while KSI's in the ring with the mic in his hand, because then what's he going to say? So clearly they're protecting him, protecting his image. Why can't you show it and be like, okay, KSI, if you didn't hit him with an elbow, what the fuck is this? But no, they don't show it at all. They just say, oh, wow, our HD cameras must be deceiving us. Clearly it was a left hook. Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. What a biased ass shit show of a company. The production is better on Kingpin. The professionalism is better on Kingpin. It's just like unbelievable how pathetic that was. And I'm a fan of Misfits Boxing. I watch every card. I watch every influencer card that I can. And I'll continue to watch them because I love the fights and I love the fighters. And I'm not shitting on KSI as a fighter. I'm shitting on Misfits. That is pathetic. You should be absolutely and utterly ashamed of yourself. You should come out and publicly apologize to Swarms. Publicly apologize to Joe Fournier. Like, what are we doing here? And then fire that fat fuck that can't shut his goddamn mouth. Those are the things that I took away from tonight. I would love to sit here and go over the fights with you guys, but I'm absolutely disgusted. Disgusted. Love y'all.